We are going to do a rib roast. Use the charcoal here tonight. You can see I've got the letter C here with the charcoal. What we do here is we light our canister up and we place the hot coals at the end right here, and then it'll just burn slowly all the way around and keep a nice temp inside the kettle for us. So I'm just going to light this up. Now, there's various ways you can light your charcoal, but I prefer to use these little, I guess they're pieces of wood that have all been mashed together. I find that they work really, really well. They burn for quite a while and burn hot, and that gets your charcoal going pretty good. We'll get the charcoal on here. You can see I got about half of it full. That's about all we need to get started. Get that sitting on there. And that's going to light our charcoal nicely. And we'll be back as soon as the charcoal is lit. Okay, so as we can see here, our charcoal is good and hot, ready to pour out. So we're just going to pour it right here in the corner. We'll get a couple of them chunks onto the stuff that's not lit. And that'll help keep our temp fairly regulated. We're looking for a temp of about 250, 275 for this rib roast. It shouldn't take too long to cook. Probably less than an hour, maybe about an hour. We're going to do a reverse sear on it. So I'll put my grate on there. Let it heat up. So yeah, we're going to do a reverse sear. Basically what that means is we're going to smoke it first. Usually if you do steak or rib roast like this, you would sear it both sides first, and then we would move it off and put it on indirect heat. This time I'm going to do the opposite. So I'm going to do the smoking first, and then when I'm done, just before I pull it, I'll do the sear on both sides. Alright, be back in a few minutes. Just going to let the grill come up to temp, and then we will we'll get the rib roast on there. Back in a few. Alright, we're back. We're just going to season this steak up a little bit. A little closer so you can see. Okay. Nice rib here. Not too big. There likely won't be any leftovers. First thing we're going to do, we'll put some salt on it. Now, I like to use pink Himalayan salt. Just salt that right up. Nice thing with the salt is it'll actually soak in a little bit, and you'll see the meat will actually start to sweat a little. And when this meat starts to sweat, the salt's actually being absorbed into the meat at that point, flavoring it. Both sides here. Don't be afraid to touch it. Get that salt right in there. Perfect. And we've got a little bit of Rufus Teague here. Nice little mix. It's just basically garlic powder, onion powder, crushed pepper, a little bit more salt. I'm just going to do both sides with that. Again, just pat it in there, rub it in, flip it over, do this side. Don't be afraid to use lots. This is the only thing we're going to put on this, so it's nice to have lots of flavor other than just the flavor of the beef. The other thing I'm going to put on is a little bit of a It's a Stubs barbecue spice rub. This one's kind of nice. It's a very dry rub. Gives it a little color. And you'll see when we do the reverse sear on this, this is actually going to give us a nice char on the outside. Not burnt, but a nice char. And that'll actually give you quite a bit of flavor as well. Okay, that's good. We'll let that sit a minute, and we'll be right back, and they'll be ready to put on the grill. Okay, we are ready to get these on. You can see I've already got some potatoes on. The grill's up to temp. So you can see our charcoal there is burning good over here in this corner here. We gotta just throw this on here. You can see I got my meat probe in that. And we're over here on the thermometer. So it's at room temp right now. And we're going to bring this up to about 120 degrees or so. 115, somewhere in there. And then we will we'll do the reverse sear on it and bring it up and finish it. Doing it this way really keeps the meat moist inside. It also keeps it medium rare. It's on indirect heat. We'll flip this a couple of times just to get an even cook on it. And then, like I say, once it gets up to about that 120 degree mark, we'll then throw it on over the coals and do a reverse sear on it. Alright, that's it. We'll come back and see it when it's ready to be flipped. Okay, we are up to temp. We're at 120 degrees. So now we're going to find the hot coals here, which are right over here in that corner. You can see them right here glowing. We're going to take our ribeye. You can see just how nice it is. And we're going to throw it right over them coals. And this is what we call the reverse sear. This is going to give us a nice crisp outside, but still keep it as medium rare on the inside. So we'll let that sear for a minute. Oh, good and smoky. Oh, the smell of this is just awesome. Potatoes here, we'll move them over closer to the coals. I cheated and just bought potatoes that were already wrapped because I didn't feel like getting a whole bag of potatoes today. Now that's seared pretty good there. We're just going to turn it 90 degrees. And that will give us our nice cross hatches on the grill marks on the bottom side of this. Okay. You can see that's just smoking away here. It's not burning. We're just giving it a little bit of char on that side. That rub will give it a nice blackened look to it when it's done. Now we can flip this over and you can see we've got those beautiful crosshatch grill marks on there. And you get that just by rotating at 90 degrees. You can see how the grill grates run here. I'll just sear this side a little bit. Put our probe back in just to see where we're at temp-wise. I also don't want to overcook it. Probably getting hard for you guys to see this because it is getting quite dark out here. Just going to let that go for a second. Turn it 90 degrees. And I'm going to go over to the other barbecue for a second. I'll show you what we got over here in a minute. You hear the thermometer beeping. we're at our temp internally that we want. You can hear that sizzle too. It's a nice sound. Nothing better than the sound of meat sizzling on the barbecue. Okay, over on the other grill I've got mushrooms going. I'll take you over and show you those in a minute. Oh yeah, beautiful. Giving it a nice sear. Sitting at about 120 on the thermometer. I'd like to get her up to around 130, 135, but when you pull these off too, I'll wrap it and I'll let it rest for probably 15, 20 minutes, maybe even longer. It'll actually cook about another 4 or 5 degrees, so I always try to pull it a little bit early. So. Okay, sorry I had to pause there for a second. The young lad was out here trying to do some barbecuing. Okay, so that's probably seared enough. Oh yeah, nice. Like I say, it's got that nice char on it, but not too much. I'm just going to leave that on there for a minute. Close the lid, we'll let it sit for a little bit. I'm going to flip you guys over to the other grill. Okay, so over here on the cast iron, on the regular propane barbecue, I've got some mushrooms grilling up there. This is where cast iron is so nice to have. You can use it on fire, you can use it on any kind of barbecue. You can put a lid on it and make it into a Dutch oven. We just got some mushrooms going here. We're going to use some more of that Rufus Teague there that we put on the rib roast. Just going to season them a little bit with that. And then just before they're done, I've got some minced garlic here that I'll throw on it. The big thing with garlic is that you don't want to put it on at the very beginning because garlic can't take high heat. It burns very, very easily. So if you're going to add fresh garlic anyway, or garlic powder for that matter, because it'll burn easily as well. If you're going to add garlic to your recipe, then just make sure that you're either on low heat or you are adding it in just before you're ready to finish with the cook. Alright, we'll let these simmer down a little bit and we'll be back. Okay, we've got our mushrooms reduced down here nicely. I'm just going to move that over so you can see it a little bit better. I'm just going to take our minced garlic now. Get that in there now. Again, I'm kind of cheating. I didn't cut up fresh stuff, but that's okay. You can cheat a little bit. Oh, get that mixed around. Stir. If you're wondering, all I used was about a 1/4 cup of butter in the bottom of the pan for the mushrooms. That was it. No oil or nothing. Just a little bit of butter. Nothing better than butter fried mushrooms. Yeah, so there we go. We'll just let that simmer a little more for a few more minutes. And we'll be back. Okay, and these mushrooms are done. Boy, I wish you could smell this. Between the garlic and the barbecue rub in there. They are smelling really good. Can't wait to bite into them. Okay, so we'll get everything pulled off the grills here and we'll meet you inside. Okay, we got everything pulled off the grill. We got our mushrooms here. They turned out really nice. Hard to beat using cast iron. I don't know, it gives a taste of stuff that I guess it transfers some of the iron from the cast iron, but it definitely gives it a nice flavor. All I've done here is I've cut the bone off. That's all I've done so far. So I brought this in, I tented it or covered it, let it rest. As you can see now, the juices have come out of it. When I pulled it off, it was pretty dry. But let's just cut a piece here so you can see. Beautiful medium rare. Just a little bit pink. I apologize, but we're going to try a little piece here, and that's the outside piece. So once you get into the inside here, it'll be a lot more pink than that. Oh, melt in your mouth. Okay, so we'll get the potatoes and the mushrooms and everything all plated up here, and we'll come back and show you that. Okay, we're back. We got it plated. I cooked the meal, so I get to have the bone. Whenever I'm done with it, we'll probably pass it off to our dog Miley. So we're just going to throw some sour cream here on this baked potato. I threw the baked potato over the charcoal, and I actually got some grill marks on the baked potato even, so a little added thing you can do. There's sour cream on there. Get some real bacon bits just to top that off. A little bit of chives. There we go. So you can see just how nice that meat turned out. Very medium rare in the center, which is the way I like it. Yeah, it's beautiful. Nice and juicy. Very happy with all of this. Everything turned out well. The mushrooms are awesome. They smell great. Boy, do they taste good. So yeah, that's going to wrap up this video. A small prime rib roast, some baked potato, both done on the charcoal kettle, and then mushrooms done in the cast iron skillet on the propane barbecue. Anyway, that's it. Any questions, feel free to comment, and yeah, we'll have another video soon. If you like the video, click on the subscribe button.